The year 2020 has revealed a lot of fundamental truths. The most valuable people in our society are paid the least. Hugs and togetherness are the key to happiness. And this week, we've learned that Blackpool, it turns out, right at the heart of it, is more of a state of mind. And welcome to episode 6 of series 5 of the Keep Dancing podcast. I am Ellie and I'm your host. Tonight I'm joined by Anne.
Hello.
Meg.
Hello.
Emily.
Hello.
Vikki.
Hello.
And AJ.
Hello.
To pretend that we're at the seaside and that everything is fine. We're your 100% unofficial, unexpurgated, unauthorised source of Strictly Come Dancing analysis and opinions. We're not neutral, we're not always polite, but we are becoming increasingly unmoored from the reality. If you'd like to get in touch with us, email us at keepdancingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at keepdancingpod. And later on in the episode, we've got the results for the Every Strictly Result Ever poster giveaway.
Right, so you know when you've just said that about Blackpool being a state of mind?
Yes.
Was anybody reminded forcefully of that early internet thing of when they did the Newport State of Mind video?
I know exactly what you're referring to. I am of that era of internet.
It just came to me in a flash.
I hadn't thought about that in years.
Yeah, there's a very strange tension between Blackpool as depicted on Strictly Blackpool specials and Blackpool as experienced by dance pros. Elliot, who can't be here tonight, said, "The most I see of the beach in Blackpool is just through my hotel room window." Like, dance Blackpool is not Kiss Me Quick, is not a chilly November night on the front, is not anything to do with a donkey.
Yeah, I remember I was listening to, I don't know why, but Mark Wright, I think, has a radio show that I caught many moons ago. And he was obviously on Strictly ages ago, and I think it was Blackpool Week in another series, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, I remember Blackpool Week. Don't know why we really go there, but it was fun." I'm like, have you not educated yourself yet? So yeah, they don't have a clue.
Well, no, I think they do have a clue, but I think they're trying to make it something that people are more familiar with, like the traditional British seaside thing.
The stereotypes that are many years old
is one thing.
Right. Have I become incredibly rarefied, or do they present it as slumming?
It is.
Yeah, they do.
A little bit.
I mean,
it's one of the things that is frustrating about it. It's very similar to when the BBC visit our hometown, Ellie, and you just end up not wanting to think about it too much because they're portraying it as slumming it, and it's quite upsetting.
Yeah. Oh, a pint's only £1.75 because of the multiple social deprivation. Woo! Yeah.
And also the group train rides up there. It's like, oh look, we're getting public transport. We're not being chauffeured to the studio this week.
Behold, we are slumming it. Like, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, that is one of the slightly uncomfortable things about Blackpool, which if they could sort of sort out the archive footage and show the pros competing at Blackpool. Imagine if we had a special VT package of like Nadia giving it laldi at Blackpool.
Yes. When they're all doing the kids' ballroom dancing shows and they're all adorable and wee.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I like the photos.
That would be amazing.
I like the photos in Bill and Otie's VT because you did see like terrible 90s pictures of,
all of
like
it
with like, you know, the glowing red eye of the of
the
the
flash.
camera
Yeah.
flash.
Yeah.
And the blurriness of somebody moving, and then you don't know what that looks like until you get it developed.
Oh, those are the days.
Kids these days know nout.
And then you get it back, and you're like, why do I have 15 pictures of my thumb?
It would just be a little bit awkward when, like, some of them wouldn't have any Blackpool photos to show.
Because they're like
Yes.
12.
Whippersnappers.
Yeah.
No, because their career never really reached
Yes.
that. Or, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'd be like just Jeanette Manmara, 2 times Christmas special champion. No Blackpool photos.
and we're fine with that. Shall we review some dancers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dancing the American Smooth, and once he did not dance because he was alone and his heart was stone. But he's not alone. It's Bill Bailey and his partner Oti. It only took 6 weeks before I started actually mining his material.
That is very impressive restraint.
Yeah. I mean, imagine just doing a dance-themed dance.
I know.
I mean, the
How wacky.
dance-themed
crumbs.
dance.
Never.
I think we could have done with a few more dance-themed dances this week.
I think so. I think he was
Yes.
bucking the trend this week.
Well, my theory is that Bill Bailey is now subverting the paradigm
Ooh.
by being a comedian, you know, booked to be the comic turn on Strictly, but taking it dead seriously, participating soberly in all of the little conversational inserts and regaling us all with his history of social dance. He is completely undercutting the ironic distance with which Strictly functions, and the whole thing might collapse.
I like that narrative.
They seem to, in their like training VTs and stuff, he seems to be really determined to talk about OT a lot as well, and like information about OT's dance, career and her background, as well as like him relating it to his experiences of this. You know, it's noticeable.
Yeah.
In Claude's area, he mainly wanted to talk about how, like, he's hopelessly devoted to Oti and is doing it for her.
I
Yeah.
know
Which
the
I find
feeling.
very
Yay.
lovely. It's a lovely thing to do.
I too would be hopelessly devoted to OT if I had
Yes.
the opportunity.
Who would not? I mean, she's the
but-
best.
So this
Number one
was
Stan account.
an American
Yes.
Smooth, with no lifts. Did you miss them?
No.
No.
I didn't notice
actually.
until someone said. I just thought
Didn't
it was
bat an
a
eyelid.
lovely, charming dance.
I thought it was very smooth and just, well, yeah, sophisticated, lovely.
It felt like Strictly before they got the medium-sized Prop Warehouse membership card.
Yes.
Yes.
They did have a large revolving top hat though.
Yeah, but that's
Yes.
nothing these days, you know.
It's just a little bit of showbiz. It wasn't like a donkey.
Oh, don't.
It wasn't a Blackpool tram
No.
or
It
a,
wasn't
an
Ice cream
AR,
van.
an
It was
AR garden full of gnomes.
Sometimes a physical garden is worse.
Yes.
But, like, he's just continuing to progress really nicely, interpreting the character of the dance. And just, like, it makes you feel sort of nice and safe when you watch them dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing on the winner's track, but it felt like a very, even his dances that aren't the sort of standout ones now. Like I guess what the one he did on Saturday isn't going to be one of his sort of like top 2 or 3, but it's still a solid performance. I think he scored 8s. And yeah, I just think it's all part of this sort of nice package of dances he's going to deliver over the course of the series. And I imagine he's doing quite well on a winner's track, maybe.
The winner's track is just completely bust this year.
Okay. maybe I shouldn't have brought it up.
Don't mention the winner's
It's
track.
broken.
The wheels
been-
came off.
I've been plotting it, and I've tried scaling the winner's track like up and down and making it shorter and making it steeper, and it's a whole thing.
Okay.
Just chaos reigns.
All right,
Short
Been
series,
subverted.
fewer contestants, one fewer judge. It's just nonsense this year.
Yeah, and then you factor in the supply teacher, and just it's all gone to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, very nice. Bill and OT dance team dance, old style. Well done. Woohoo!
Excellent.
Hey.
Dancing the salsa and doing to cartwheels what trebuchets once did to medieval walls. It's Maisie Smith and her partner Gorka.
You need to warn me to mute when you're doing stuff like that, Ella. I'm just going to shriek.
Words can't describe how much I love that sound effect. It's so yeety.
But the way that she was chucking herself into
gosh.
those acrobatic moves had such just conviction. Like it is like it's because she's 19. When you're 19, you don't like halt yourself going into a forward roll thinking, is this where I'm going to fracture a vertebrae? You just do it.
I have to agree. I am now 31. I can't bring myself to do a forward roll. I'm too scared. Genuinely, it frightens me. I don't know if I'm putting my neck in the right place. How do you do it when you're a kid?
I did 3 weeks at circus school over the summer in the park learning how to do forward rolls again. I'm 37.
I'm mumble, and I basically would have like run towards Gorka and then just sort of like gone, like come to an abrupt halt.
Yeah.
Everything in my brain went, no, bad idea.
No.
So,
Yes.
right, let's compare
So we
and
agree.
contrast this one with Hervey's equally competent salsa last week, which we were all really irritated by.
Was that the one where he was a handbag?
He was a handbag,
Yes.
and they were dancing to BTS.
Yeah.
A handbag, noun. It's a metaphorical description of he stood there while Jeanette danced round him as if he were her handbag in discotheques. Remember them?
In nightclubs.
Whereas Hervey is a handbag, Maisie is more like a kind of whirly-gig full of washing that you sort of spin around. Just kind of what dropped into my head when the last lift happened, and I just kind of thought, no, what?
It's the fringe, isn't it?
It's the fringe.
Yeah, and it's the thing at the gym that you put your swimming costume in and you press it down and it goes and dry your swimming costume off.
A salad spinner.
Yeah.
Yes.
A salsa spinner.
So the reason why it didn't feel like Hervey had done any lifts in his salsa, which watching him back, like they had the full complement. It's just he wasn't doing anything in them.
Yeah.
Maisie's did feel like it had the full complement of lifts
Yes.
in, because you could see like every sinew.
There was active lifting from, both partners were involved.
Do we believe it was actually Gorka's fault that lift had a slightly dodgy landing, or was he just covering?
He was covering.
Covering.
Yeah.
And so Maisie must be just really suffering in the public vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's voting for her at all, are they?
I don't think
Which
they're
is
warming
sad.
to her. Yeah.
She's the contestant this year that is receiving the tabloid monstering.
Which we didn't know would
Yep.
happen.
And
we
as soon as you receive the tag of you're the unlikable one this year, then it sort of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the papers will continue the monstering and posting, shots of you when you it's 7 a.m. and you just want a Greg.
Part of that, I mean, I'm obviously enormously cynical, and I don't find her particularly likable, but part of me also thinks she's 19, and how is this sitting with her, mentally? I know she's been in the public eye a lot of her life, but I do feel a little bit awkward about it. And I was looking at an article about her in the press this week, and just every single comment was negative, and I've never seen something so sort of wall to wall, like people not liking her. It was quite, and yeah, just
The
incredible.
frustrating thing is, I haven't warmed to her, but I also don't think she should be receiving a tabloid monstering. I think
Yeah,
there's
same.
one thing not like personally warming to a person on the telly, and there's another thing where the tabloids deliberately go out there after someone. Like,
Yeah.
it's completely unacceptable. But unfortunately, we, as a general public, we fuel it by clicking on it, reading on it, and interacting with it. Like, whilst we, again, are pretty harsh at times, we try and keep it within a sphere of the dancing-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like, to me, Hervey and and Maisie, I have not warmed to them. I don't hate them as people. I don't know them as people. I don't really care to know them as people. But I don't hate them. I don't spend my time writing negative comments about them on the internet. But it's kind of annoying, I feel, that Maisie seems to be getting it more than Harvey is, and I find them equally as bland and unlikable. But he's a man.
I read the most incredible pop star profile of Hervey this week. So it was clearly supposed to be an interview to promote his album that was supposed to be launched this week. But instead, really weirdly, it ended up being published to mark the fact that his album launch had been cancelled. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. And it
Wow.
was just like, you know how in like a really good pop interview, you come away being like, I didn't realise they were like a Yorkshire pudding obsessive and had ranked one and had like a ranking pinned to the outside of the freezer. But in Hervey's personal profile, the only thing I learned about him was that when he was 12, he had a Dell laptop. And the rest of it was just like sort of music industry chat about like promos and like ambition to record here and gig there. It just like I didn't find any sense of a person in that interview. It was so strange.
As an IT person, I'm actually really quite confused.
Is he-
Why is a Dell laptop a good idea?
Why is that an anecdote? I mean, you have a laptop. Well done.
Laptop.
You know,
Is he
yes,
being sponsored
when he
by Dell?
when he was 12.
when he was
I
12.
presume it's
Last
when
year.
Some
he
sponsorship.
was 12, he had this laptop, and that's where he started making music.
Oh yeah, that's when he started doing his thing.
Yeah. And there was no sense that there was somebody outside of the music career. And given that there doesn't seem to be much of a music career if we're cancelling his album,
Harvey is over party.
Or
Yeah.
Ouch.
I mean, like, at least the lad can dance.
has he been yeeted by his record label then?
I don't know. Like, it was really weird.
Let's not make it
Anyway,
into
anyway, we're talking about Maisie.
Yeah.
And should Gawker have broken glass for emergency and released the modesty button?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was hanging on for dear life. I mean, just put it out its misery.
Break modesty button for more votes.
Votes.
For votes. Well, that would have worked well, yes.
I think what's really required is just a classic ballroom dance to get the core Strictly voters on board again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as like there will be an element of it that's about class and not thinking that she is performing the sort of femininity of it correctly.
The Eliza
they-
Doolittle.
Yeah, and so they're like, give me some Eliza Doolittle and maybe I will make with the votes.
Maybe they could get Alexandra Burke to do a nice little insert with her talking about dealing with that kind of thing. I mean, they might have been able to discuss that on It Takes Two if they'd have let her speak for a
Well,
minute.
yes, they had lovely Alexandra on the Friday panel with two of the most talky men in existence. And they didn't even let her name her single that she was on to promote.
No, not good.
I think my only concern with the ballroom dance for Maisie is that Latin is definitely her. It's her dances in so much that one can have that in Strictly. But, like, she's not done very well in ballroom, so it's going to have to be a really good ballroom.
It needs to be teamed up with a introductory VT going how much she cares about ballroom and how much she wants to strive to make the technique perfect.
She has to create a journey.
Yeah, there needs to be enough theming for it to be interesting for people, but not so much.
She hasn't had a couple's choice yet. How about couple's choice? Actual Eliza Doolittle.
Theatre Jazz, that would be amazing.
Just like that's the level of storytelling we're at now.
Just not a contemporary wafting Eliza Doolittle, because then I'll have to die.
If any contemporary waft happens, I'm not going to be happy. No.
Yeah, I think like after Saffron's went, no, they think Saffron's was really good, don't they? Like the show thinks that's one of the best evs.
No.
Anyway, I dread and fear what they're going to try and do to like give poor Maisie a break, which she deserves.
I liked the glowing sun catchers made with the lighting gels behind.
Oh, the Triforces, yes.
Yes.
They were clearly Triforces.
I was just relieved that they weren't AR.
Yes.
It's like, there's so much lighting gel knocking around in, like, tech cupboards now because you can do it all with LEDs. They've got to think of something to do with them all. That stuff comes by the roll.
Yeah. I was just thinking, do you think this would have been improved if they'd had the Blackpool backup dancing troupe?
Yeah, because then it would have felt a bit special.
Yeah. Just one more thing to say on Maisie. I think that I really liked Craig's comment when she was in the bottom two. I liked kind of how encouraging he was.
Yes.
Because I think it was a real kind of nod to how hard she might be finding it, perhaps privately and not showing it. And yeah, the comparison to like Alicia Dixon was really nice, I thought.
Yeah, that she's gonna specifically appreciate the Alicia comparison. Like even if like maybe Ore is kind of more, you can be in the bottom two a couple of times and when more applicable. But yeah, she's gonna have appreciated that, and that was really nice of Craig to do that.
Even though she would have been 6 when Alicia was doing it.
Let's not talk about that. As we're all crumbling to dust, let's move on. Dancing the quick step as Blackpool's only mauve fish and chip merchant, it's JJ Chalmers and his partner Amy. Do you know, with the exception of the two stupid shop fronts, this was another dance-themed dance.
Yes.
It was.
And it was charming.
It was very charming.
It was.
Very
It was
lovely.
forgettable, but it was charming. I felt charmed while watching it.
Yes. I think he has improved as well, because I was kind of not super convinced by him for a bit, but I feel like he really nailed it.
Yeah, I was very concerned about a quick step after the jive went so far south. But like he's got through this just entirely on his own merits. He's not called up Prince Harry this time. He's just done the dance. And it was good.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. We don't want you calling your famous chums. He actually danced it really well in a very unusual shade of mauve. And yeah, he's genuinely getting better. But, you know, he's someone from a background of drilling. So I'm sure he's quite capable of practicing the heck out of something.
And it's really wholesome the way that him and Amy are.
Yes.
Yes.
They've got a niche, haven't they?
They do. They very much have their non-Twitter based voting.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm really impressed with how Amy is handling his restrictions. It's like when Johnny Peacock was with Oti, like you could really see that she had thought through what moves needed to be in the dance, what moves could be done, what moves could be modified, what moves just needed to be yeeted out of a window. And I feel like Amy's the same. She's very carefully thought about how to give him a whole dance that meets the criteria.
I noticed in the dance that he had on Saturday that there were a lot of repetitions, but done in a slightly different way. So she was able to kind of get round it without looking too repetitive to the untrained eye. And as you said, he's so good at drilling stuff and doing it again and again and again. I feel like she's gone, I'm going to throw stuff at you and you're going to practice and you will get it.
The same material slightly altered 3 times than 30 seconds of faffing about, 30 seconds of material, 30 seconds of faffing about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Or 30 seconds of, this has gone horribly wrong.
30 seconds of, the horror. The horror.
But yeah, the choreography's just been so well pitched for him, I think, every week. And I just think they're just, it's... Maybe I've not been watching enough It Takes Two, but I haven't really heard much mention of, his restrictions in that way. And I don't really think about them. And when I watch them, I don't find them always like the most memorable of the evening, but they're one of my favourites. And I would say it's because they're just consistently charming, good, clean, fun, wholesome. I like both of them as people, I think. It's just nice.
I think the thing is...
They talked about it most when he was doing his passo, Emily.
I think one of the big things is he's going to end up getting through to the final just because he is good, competent and nondescript and, doesn't upset any of us.
Well, also because he's sort of leaning on the, war Christmas kind of fandom as well.
All of that. We're going to keep voting for him. And
next week he is breaking glass for Scottish vote.
Emergency kilt.
Yeah, that's it. He's hit the klaxon.
I'm excited. He has, and if he's not dancing to the Proclaimers, it's over.
Has he? He's already had a Viennese, hasn't he? Like, our prediction of Viennese waltz to Let's Get Married can't actually happen, can it? Oh, it can.
No.
It could. It better.
It could.
He's waltzed. He hasn't Viennese, does he?
But, I mean, he is due a bit of a Latin.
Oh no, not a salsa in a kilt. Please no.
I don't know.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right because the shirt would be sewn into the pants.
That's
Yeah.
Yes.
He would have modesty panel by way of his shirt.
Dignity in a nice shirt.
Yes.
But is it really being a true Scotsman?
A true Scotsman on a live primetime show on the BBC.
Well,
yes.
With Ofcom regulations.
All hail the word list. Yeah, I can't wait for tunes on Tuesday because
it's going to be...
It better be the Proclaimers or Deacon Blue. Those are my 2 options. There are no other options.
What?
Actually, no, maybe
Scottish
Delamitri.
bands.
Well, no, there are no others. No.
Run rig.
Altered images.
Oh, good grief, yes.
Bit of Belle and Sebastian.
Franz Ferdinand.
Yes.
I mean, if they do something to Belle and Sebastian, I will probably die of the cute. So
that would be adorable.
Those wholesome 2 dancing to Belle and Sebastian would be...
It would kill us all.
Sadly, there's no appropriate dancers left for them to dance to Belle and Sebastian.
No.
Never mind.
Anyway, moving swiftly onwards. Dancing a samba and, frankly, dishing up a bit of a deconstructed cheesecake, it's Clara Amfo and her partner Aliash.
Oh, the glittery trapdoor. They were trying to dance her over that.
Friends, we've had an email.
Oh,
We've had an email from Mark, and Mark made something that was like on the edge of my consciousness snap into place. And it's what Clara's frock reminded me of. Mm-hmm. Celine, 1988.
Yes.
yes.
I said that to my husband. I said, I'm sure that reminds me of... I said it in a way that was when Rutabaga from Canada's Drag Race did a pastiche of that. I said it looked like that, and he understood it.
And all the Canadians rudely didn't know that Celine had done Eurovision.
What?
How dare they?
Outrage.
Are they real Canadians?
Zutalor.
Oh, boff.
Then they're not getting a special guest invite.
that's wow. Yes, that's thrown a whole new light on it.
Yeah, that's cast that mess into a whole new light. I am very glad that we saved Clara, but I don't feel like we should have had to.
No.
I do feel like it was, yes, the theme. I'm just confused.
It was not necessary. If you have to think that hard to apply a theme, your best theme is to have a dance-themed dance.
Should have had a disco-themed dance,
because
at
what
least.
did it... Like, two, like, proper floppy-hatted chefs in a Blackpool diner. What are we saying here? What is...
I was expecting the Swedish chef from Muppets to come out.
Bark. I mean, what kind of calf? Was it a greasy spoon? I mean, what are they serving?
Well, it had one of those little pegboards like you get in a fish and chip shop. So the milieu suggested greasy spoon. And yet
I've not been to a greasy spoon in Blackpool that has people like that serving behind it.
I can't say I've ever been to one with chef whites. What are they going to do? Do it Master Chef style with a little tiny garnish, like a microfish.
The feathers are just going to be throughout all of your micro herb salad. Dishes are going to get sent back.
Sequins all up in your mushy peas.
You would not pass your food safety inspection with marabou feathers in the kitchen. You just wouldn't.
It was a valiant battle against the samba.
And against the glittery trapdoor.
Yeah.
It was, despite...
Yes, she got it through it. It's done, dusted. She can forget about it.
Started really well with those basics on her own. Just the stepping back and forward was really good. And then there was obviously mistakes when she got into hold. I didn't vote for her. The reason being... I feel like we aren't going to hit the heights of that Charleston again, but not because of her ability, but because I just don't think the judges will give her that kind of reception again. I feel now we're back to those critiques that we saw for Alex Scott last year, and I don't know if it's going to be bettered from last week's Charleston.
Yeah, this did feel very much like the glittery trapdoor is open. We're done. You've had your 10.
Yeah.
You've had your Strictly experience. Thank you and goodbye.
But I need her in the final.
Don't touch anything on the way out. As Claudia always says.
Please exit the Clauditorium in a sanitary manner.
That's a really grim thought.
Exiting in a sanitary manner.
Yeah. I really hate the nonsensical theming.
Yeah.
There are times when the themes jump out at you and someone suggests a song, clearly, and they go, oh, that'd be amazing. Oh, you've got to have a little hint of it in there, so we'll put it in. Fair enough. It's not my favourite thing, but I can see how it happens. But it just made it bum fringe. Negative bum fringe.
Negative bum fringe.
I think when you are fighting against workwear like chef's whites to deliver a carnival dance, you cannot be said to be inhabiting the spirit of carnival.
No.
Chef's whites are notoriously stiff when you first get them.
Yes.
Because they're cotton.
Because they're meant to be hard wearing and protect you from flying grease rather than allow you to perform bachucadas.
And from personal experience, they're never really designed for women either.
I don't know, but it was very pleasing to see Operation Save Clara on Twitter. That was nice.
Yeah, that was good. That was a much appreciated to see us all just go.
And they clearly don't actually tell them that they're safe or not.
No.
Oh.
That's not a nice thing to see.
I suppose the BBC would get accused of more BBC fakery if they did know when they were playing up. But it is getting a little bit tough to watch now.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad when they're clearly on the verge of being sick.
Maybe I've gone soft. I don't know. So next week, Clara is Tina Turnering. So
I'm so excited.
in the WhatsApp, we've already had a suggestion of a rumba to private dancer. A jive to Proud Mary seems like quite a basic option to repeat so soon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've already married
Who did the last one?
Alexander Burke, yeah.
It was Alexandra.
I can see her in a silver
was-
dress with
We
the
might
wig.
be having a time slip.
It's just a jump to the left, and then
It was 3 years ago. So it was 3 years ago, series 15, that Alexandra did the Proud Mary jive.
that's not too bad because I mean a dance we'll discuss later has been used like 3 or 4 times in the series history, so it's not like it was like last season.
I would just love private dance with
Yeah,
her.
that's true.
I'm just saying.
She could really, really
I
ham
would
it off.
love it. So much cheese possibility.
So yes, another one for which we are.
Could you jive to what's love got to do with it?
What's love?
Ooh.
You'd have to really kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
Where will they be driving? That's the next question.
On a riverboat casino. Other Tina Turners. Goldeneye. I think that's probably a rumba.
Ooh,
Nutbush
Ooh,
City
yes, they've done
Limits
that.
is your other Tina Turner jive.
I like that one.
That would be great.
Nice.
Hi is a jive.
Nice.
So there are options. We don't have to do Proud Mary.
Proud Mary again.
Even though she was doing the Proud Mary dance move, which makes me worry.
I think it's got to be.
Well, it is also the very distinct Tina Turner move.
Yeah.
If you had to like do charades, like
Yes.
that's the move you do to symbolise Tina Turner. I feel.
Probably.
Nutbush City Limits is giving me like really distinct throwback to very early days Strictly when Claire King and Brendan did a jive to it, and they were so rebellious because they did lifts and things, and then they went to do a lift and they did like pointy finger at the judges and did like no, as if like we're not going to do that. It was really scandalous at the time. They were like, oh, there's such teasers.
Oh, God.
Sanctity of dance.
And now we have couple's choice.
Lauren Steadman and AJ tangoed to it.
Really?
Did they?
Apparently.
Well,
That's
I
been
remember
wiped
little.
from my memory.
Yes.
No, a video of it exists. Right, I've not gone mad.
you can't see my face, but I'm pulling one.
I think we run out of steam at this point. Dancing the couple's choice, and dance up the revolution, comrades! It's Jamie Lang and his partner Karen.
Oh, capitalist biscuit.
Biscuit King.
I think he ate a whole pack to have the energy to do that one.
Right, so
Energy.
the goodness and badness of this,
I don't know where he gets it
sort
from.
of folds in on itself. It was
Like a Mobius strip.
It was so
Mobius.
good at being bad but committed and wholly inappropriate that it flipped round to me being embarrassed, but also a lot of people thinking it was good.
It was.
I think I went from cringe to I think this is excellent, and I can't explain why.
So what happened to you happened to the judges then?
Yeah. I don't know. It was so ludicrous, but
Yeah.
also well executed that I couldn't really kind of hate
Yeah,
it.
well, back on the theme of slumming, I just... like, it's one joke. Ha ha ha, he's posh and he's pretending to be a homeboy.
Homeboy, yes. Go say
The
it like
judges trying to talk about, like,
Correct.
street dance.
Oh, like they knew anything.
Street dance with authority. They can't talk about street dance with authority. Why do we not get, I don't know, ITV's favourite diversity in to judge the street dance?
I think I kind of went into it a bit fearful because last year's Karen street dance couple's choice was, I think, even worse in its theming of the Rumble,
Yeah,
which is
that really
which
upset
has
me.
its own baggage. But it's just, so I kind of went into that like going, I mean, that's a low bar that you could trip over.
That said, I think there was a nostalgia element to the Dance Dance Revolution non-copyright infringing machine.
And also the very first instance of AR graphics that were both tasteful and appropriate.
In surprise
True.
news.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
Were these narrative 10s? I feel like they were the 10s he should have got for being surprisingly good at the samba last week.
Yes.
Yes, he deserved the 10s for the samba.
Not,
I don't think
not
he's
the
been
best.
10 worthy at any point.
If he was ever worthy of 10s, the sambas were a more likely candidate, but the 10s are a reach.
Yeah, a big reach. I think my issue with this particular couple's choice, or whatever we're doing with this now, was last year's Chris Ramsey routine aside, I feel like most couple's choice have a foot in either the theatrical or the like stylish hip hop that do you remember Charles Venn and Karen's couple's choice was really stylish and like well choreographed, and this was just like the generic street dance you see at any like local, I don't know, school, done averagely. No, I'm not here for it. And it wasn't particularly complicated, it wasn't anything impressive, it was just boring.
And gurning.
And I feel
That is a
yeah,
very good
there was
point,
gurning.
Vikki.
I'll give you that.
Thanks.
It reminds me terribly of the children's dance troupe that
Yes.
were at Worthing Pride last year.
Children's dance troupe.
Dancing a tango and featuring in the film of a young adult dystopian novel where he's like a bad boy cyberduke or something. It's Hervey and his partner Jeanette.
Oh, it was so YA, it hurt. It physically hurt.
Do you think that protagonist will change him? Or will she learn a lesson about herself?
Well, you know, I am biased. I read and I write a lot of YA, but really he has to have that little pivotal moment. The setback. He hasn't had the setback yet.
Was the setback
He
not
needs
known
Jeanette to
week?
kinda, yeah, I don't know. He needs a plot point, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh, actually, well, in my head, yes. But in the judge's head, no.
Yeah. Weirdly, the judges, like in Judge Land, that was good.
I mean, yeah.
So Hervey, unlike other contestants, was praised for the way he carried out his mistakes in his dance.
I did not appreciate that.
Elliot sent me an essay. Harvey's tango was very odd in a sense. He had good drive and rotation, as Anton stated, but also wasn't into his knees enough. Tango has no rise and fall, and a compressed knee is a must at all times. Also, the height difference between him and Jeanette allowed the body and head to come forward and tip over slightly. Also, at points, his steps were too big compared to Jeanette's, making it difficult. Also, left elbow should be a right angle. It was rounded. Ultimately, if he'd got his head back and was more straight, like Maisie last week, ironically, it would have been great. But his core was very good.
But other than that, he enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed that.
I'm just here doing dramatic readings of Elliot's WhatsApps now.
Here for it.
I'll be honest, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's
so
great.
like, where can Hervey's story go?
It's good. It's good content.
Out the window.
Maybe he needs to kind of get back into kind of like a lovely sweet waltzy type thing. I don't know. Get the mums on board.
Somebody else could have made like sort of an edgy tango, but instead there was a bit of soft Harry Styles. There wasn't a lot of edge. There was no sort of oomph to it.
Down with pop tangos.
The music was atrocious. It really was. Terrible choice.
But the problem with partnering Jeanette is that throughout the series you will be given nothing more than a PG rating.
Yes. Yeah.
This is true. For the kids. For his fan base, I guess.
Yeah, so, like, if anybody has any thoughts about what Hervey's story could be, other than that he had a laptop when he was 12.
And his album's been cancelled.
Dancing the cha-cha and chasing Mrs. Slocum's furry friend all the way to the end of the pier, it's Caroline Quentin and her partner, Johannes.
There is so much fapping.
Oh my
So
god.
So much fapping.
Yes.
Also,
It was a faff. That's a cha-cha.
Where to start with the
This
faffing?
was Caroline's last chance to basically do her quest objective and let go and, like, really go wild in one of her dances. And the cha-cha-cha should have been where it happened, and it didn't.
Just no progression,
No.
sadly, over the last 4 weeks. She always does, like, she always acts the dance very well with her face, but she always does these same little, like, neat, compact steps no matter what the dance was, and it was getting really frustrating. I don't really know how you teach it out of someone. It's just, yeah, it was frustrating, but obviously she still told the story really well.
Oh yeah, the acting was phenomenal and also
The
frightening.
licking bit was scripted, we assume.
It genuinely disturbed me. Oh, it wasn't
Freeze,
good.
rubbing thighs.
You know, it's like if 2 years ago when we all started to, like, fall
made
in
me
love
unhappy.
with Johannes, and we were told, oh, by the way, in 2 years' time, he's going to do this comedy camp cha-cha-cha of Caroline Quentin, and she's going to lick him. Like, can you imagine? Just like the reaction.
I don't know. Like, she's clearly had a marvellous time, and she has provided such lovey vibes, which I think everybody's appreciated, because sometimes you just need a true theatre lovey to make a rousing speech thanking the crew.
Yes.
yeah, to
Yes.
bring about what I
Yes,
believe was
and
an
she definitely
unscripted
delivered
standing
that.
ovation.
She sort of demanded it.
Yeah, with her presence, she
Sort of commanded the standing ovation. She just sort of went, I'd like to thank the best dance in the world. And it looked over very pointedly at them. They sort of leapt to their feet as if standing to attention, which is quite impressive.
I'd love to command that kind of authority of a room, I have to say.
Really, I mean, I'm just reminded of It Takes Two when the cameraman was
Yes, follow
forced
my foot.
to kind of follow her every whim as she decided to demo. Follow my feet. Whoa,
thank you, Caroline.
wonderful.
There's been occasional extreme magic. Dancing an Argentine tango while Shirley posts endless fanfics about sloppy kissing on Wattpad. It's Ranveer Singh and her partner, Giovanni.
Blimey.
It was not top tier. It was not top tier, but
Oh my.
the narrative
I
of it
mean-
all.
Oh,
It was very narrative.
oh,
Um,
it was.
They know their audience. They know what they're playing
Blindingly.
at.
and, you know, Shirley, now Queen of the Shippers.
Oh, Shirley she's on Wattpad. She's got her Wattpad account open under that desk. She's just tapping away at her fan fiction.
I did like the VT where Joe was like illustrating the differences between ballroom tango and Argentine, because I think sometimes people forget what those differences are.
They're very different dances, but I think the whole... There was a specialist air to that VT.
More than PG rated vibe to the VT.
Yeah.
Oh, very. I mean, it did feel like there was a kind of private narrative playing out, shall we say. A bedroom narrative, if you will.
I will be your private narrative, your narrative for money.
The
Are we dancing on the edge of outcome?
we've all gone. It was a
Dancing on the Edge of
Dancing
Opcom, a
on-
memoir.
whether or not it's a real thing, they're playing it very well, and it's obviously hugely beneficial for them to be gathering such comments.
And everybody is presumably howling with laughter behind the scenes as everybody's just good
Yes.
friends.
Yes, of
Perhaps,
course.
yeah. I mean, who knows? We don't
Perhaps.
know.
Who knows?
Either way, I believe they're both single.
Yep.
Adults having a lovely
And
time.
yeah, it's fine.
Adults having a lovely consensual
And
time.
do you know what? If it brings up Argentine tangos like that, that's fine. I actually think they look ruder when they're not perfect. Just in general.
Because like a really, really perfect one can feel a little bit robot-y.
Yeah. And when they're not done perfectly like that, they look filthy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gio's always good, I think, for an Argentine tango. Like,
Excellent.
I think he teaches them quite well to his partners. Which is, and I don't mean that in a finale way. I just mean that, like, he always manages to get the sort of best Argentine tango out of them that they can do. Because we have seen some Argentine tangos where you're just like, ox,
Make it stop.
make this get off my screen.
I think it is part of the way that Giovanni works with all of his celebs,
Yes.
and that he makes them feel confident as women.
Yeah, he does bring out
Excellent.
the best in them, and I think that's admirable.
He was also really, really good in this routine. I actually watched it twice because I sort of mainly watched him the first time. Because he's some of the pros that don't come particularly naturally to Argentine tango, but he does it really, really well.
Yeah, he does. They don't always look as impressive as when Gio does them.
I think you have to, like, if you can, in order to get the dance out of your celebrity partner, you have to be pretty good at it yourself. And I think that's one of the things that shows in other Argentine tangos where the pro is not 100% in it either.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be the thing whenever you get one that's not in the core Latin and ballroom curriculum. Anyway, we've done all of the dances. What did you reckon?
That was a very weird episode of Strictly.
Such a weird episode.
It makes a little bit more sense now that we've thrashed it all out, but like as it was unfolding, it felt almost hallucinogenic.
Do you think we're on for a reset next week, or is the reset gone out the window as well?
Well, I thought this week would have been
Yes, that's what I thought.
But if we're gonna, but we got like Blackpool scoring, and so presumably we now have to have a reset next week.
Maybe the Motzi back reset.
I think.
Oh yes, yeah. Motzi coming back would be a very nice
And then you've
reset.
got a fortnight to the final.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Right, let's try and keep the mood going while we do Frock of the Week. Frock of the Week.
Quite a hard week for Frock of the Week, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yes.
a little bit. Elliot nominated Gio for the see-through shirt. Elliot. Millie.
I didn't really have much to say about any of the outfits this week, I've got to say. Probably Ranveer and Gio. Very, very lovely, classic Argentine tango pairing outfit. I thought the pair was perfect.
Meg?
I actually really liked Jeanette's dress. And particularly the headpiece. Not so much the mask, but the gold foliage that came around the ear.
A bit of blue velvet and gold is very nice.
It was very nice, and it was quite adult. Like,
grown up.
It was grown up, yeah. It was very grown up, which was nice for Jeanette.
Yes. AJ?
It pains me to say it, but the thing that I was most attracted to was Hervey as young adult blue velvet gold shirt hero. I'm so sorry.
Do you know what? I also picked out Jeanette. I just love that embroidery kind of business on the top. It was so intricate and looked lovely under the lights as well.
Vikki?
I did like Jeanette's, but my vote would actually go to Oti for the just classic ballroom number, but as we're calling her now, Otti.
Yeah, I like. There's a number of decisions that the temporary judge has made that I'm not going to deal with.
Let's not
closely.
unlock that right now.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
nomination is Oti. So we've got sort of 3 people on 2. So Jeanette, Oti, and Giovanni are all winners of Frock of the Week. So the winner of the Every Strictly result ever, which I think this week it's going to have to be a poster, is John Watt 875. Regular, very respectful commenter, John Watt 875.
Hooray!
Hurrah!
Hooray!
Excellent.
Well done.
And that is it for another week of the Keep Dancing podcast. So, see you, Meg.
Goodbye.
See you, Millie.
Bye-bye.
See you, AJ.
Goodbye.
See you, Anne.
Bye.
And see you, Vikki. It's good to have you back.
Cheers.
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 Oh, and to you at home, keep dancing.